Well, good morning, Jerusalem. Thanks for waking up with us and turning into FCC News, where the weather happens first and the news happens fast.
That's right, Andrew. We have the top news stories waiting right around the corner, where our field reporter is anxiously waiting with Simon of Cyrene. But first, to Heather with the weather. So, Heather, what surprises does the weather have in store for us today?
Don't knock the weather. If it didn't change once in a while, 90% of people couldn't start a conversation. Yeah, I've gotten a lot of inquiries on Friday's weather pattern. How did it get so dark? Why did the ground begin to shake? And many citizens are asking about that thunder. I cannot say we are 100% certain. It just seemed to be some unexplainably unstable weather. How about something a little more predictable, like today's weather? It's going to be a hot one, temperatures of 87 with clear blue skies. Back to you, Andrew.
I was certainly caught off guard when the ground began to tremble. Lauren, where were you last Friday when that thunder blasted through the sky?
I was on my way to Calvary to see what all the fuss was about. Which reminds me, we have Carly Kaiser standing by with Simon of Cyrene.
Thank you, Lauren. I am with Simon of Cyrene, and I witnessed the amazing and frankly miraculous events following the Passover. Events involving this man named Jesus. Simon, you traveled quite a ways to the holy city, only to find yourself spontaneously selected to carry a cross. What happened when you arrived in Jerusalem?
Well, I'm still rather in shock of it all. When I got there and I heard the commotion and I saw the guards, I had to know what was going on. I heard someone in the crowd say that was Jesus being led to Calvary. Before I knew what was happening, the guard grabbed me and told me to carry the cross.
Is it common for other people to bear a criminal's cross?
No, crucifixion is a punishment saved for the most hideous of crimes. This cross that the condemned are forced to carry is normally consisting of at least 100 pounds of rough wood.
But you didn't refuse?
No, I saw him. He barely looked alive. He had been beaten. Blood streamed from the crown of thorns they had ran down over his head. His back was raw and bleeding. He was weak and shaking. He couldn't have carried the cross. He could barely walk.
Thank you for sharing with us today, Simon. Lauren, back to you.
Thank you, Carly. Now we know why two others were crucified that Friday. How about this man Jesus? Andrew, can you shed some light on the subject?
Yes, Lauren. We have Jennifer with Simon Peter, who was one of Jesus' disciples. What can you tell us, Jennifer?
Thanks, Andrew. I'm here with Simon Peter, who was there when Jesus was arrested and tried in the presence of the high priest. What evidence did they find against Jesus?
They did not find any. Though many false witnesses came forward, none of them would agree. Finally, two came forward and declared, "This fellow said, I am able to destroy the temple of God and rebuild it in 3 days."
What did Jesus say?
Nothing. He stayed silent. The high priest asked him if he was Messiah, the Son of God.
And what was his reply?
I am. He also said, "From now on, you will see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of the Mighty One and coming on the clouds of heaven."
I bet the high priest wasn't happy.
No. They declared blasphemy. They decided Jesus was worthy of death. They spit in his face, blindfolded him, and struck him with their fists. Others slapped him. They bound him and led him away, and handed him over to Pilate, the governor, who would make the final decision.
And that is an eyewitness account from Simon Peter. Back to the studio.
Thanks, Jennifer. It has been rumored that Pilate did not want to have Jesus killed. In fact, he tried multiple times to let him go.
It's customary during Passover to let one prisoner receive a pardon. Pilate thought this could be a way to release Jesus, but the crowd would not hear of it. Carly?
Well, I am here with Barabbas, the prisoner who was released instead of Jesus. Why are you in prison?
Murder. I was trying to get rid of some worthless scum and doing a favor for society.
Are you familiar with the tradition of prisoner release?
Of course, but I hardly expected to be chosen. And when I heard that Jesus had been arrested, I figured the crowd would call for his pardon.
Why did you assume that?
When Jesus first came to town, they hailed him as the Messiah, laying down palm branches and singing Hosanna. Surely these same people would be in favor of setting him free from prison.
Then what happened?
The crowd started hollering my name. They removed my shackles. They let me go. And Jesus, they took him away while the crowd was yelling, "Crucify him, crucify him."
Barabbas, sir? Andrew, back to you.
Thank you, Carly. Reports show on the third hour they crucified Jesus and two criminals, one on his left and one on his right.
At the 6th hour, darkness became over the whole land until the 9th hour. Jennifer, I hear we have Mary Magdalene standing with you. Was she there? Did she see it happen?
Yes, Lauren, Mary was there. She was standing at a distance with some other women, watching, weeping. Mary, what happened?
They nailed his hands to the crossbeam, and they nailed his feet. They beat him up and mocked him. Suddenly the sun stopped shining around the 6th hour, and then by the 9th hour, Jesus called out in a loud voice, "Father, unto you I commit my spirit," and breathed his last. To be sure he was dead, they stabbed him with a spear in the side.
Thank you, Mary. That had to be difficult to witness. That's the somber story from here. Back to you guys.
Wow. A man named Joseph from Arimathea went to Pilate and asked for Jesus' body. He took it down and wrapped it in linen cloth and placed it in a tomb cut in the rock. A large stone was placed in front of its opening. Later, the guards were placed in front of it to keep anyone from stealing the body. Today marks the 3rd day of this man Jesus, who was crucified, dead, and buried. Hold on. Live reports. At the tomb. It's not there. What do you mean it's gone? Folks, we are receiving live coverage at the tomb right now. Jennifer is live with Mary.
The stone, it's rolled away. The tomb is empty.
Mary, what happened?
We were going down to the tomb with spices, and we got there and Jesus' body was gone.
Suddenly 2 men in clothes that glittered like lightning appeared and said, "Why do you look for the living among the dead? He is not here, he is risen." Come on, we have to find the disciples.